I'm Janet Gerald, and this is Stuck, a little project to share unvarnished words of wisdom from experienced professionals in the classical music world with emerging artists, in hopes of helping those emerging artists navigate their careers. When you are stuck or don't know what to do next, it's very important to know whom you can trust for honest and unbiased guidance. The next question in our series is, how did you build your trusted circle of colleagues?
Make sure that you have people around you that you trust. You will be, for many years, approached by people and just told things about your technique, things about your performance on stage, and you're going to hear lots of contradicting opinions. Be careful that you don't all of a sudden change things just because one person walked up to you and said something. Make sure you really think it through. Create a a small group of people around you that you really trust.
This one's really critical. I showed up for them without them ever asking me to. And I did it happily, and I did it generously and as often as possible. Because at the end of the day, I wanted them to know that I supported them in their endeavors, that I saw them, that I value them, and that I want to do whatever I can to help them succeed. Like, if you just show up for people without them asking and without expecting anything in return, you're gonna build nothing but allies. You just have to be careful not to build parasites. But I definitely believe in a giving attitude when it comes to building relationships.
I kept my trusted circle of colleagues small, because when you cast the net too wide, you're going to get a whole lot of different varieties of fish, and some of them are not good for consumption. Okay, not too healthy for you. So I figure that I'll keep my colleague list, my friend, my trusted colleague list small. So that would be my agent, Janet Gerald has been my best friend, my sister friend, my everything. She has been to every surgery I have ever had to tell the anesthesiologist. Now, she's an opera singer. Make sure you use the smallest tube when you go down her throat, because that's her moneymaker, and blah, 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 blah. Honey, she almost got thrown out of a hospital because of me. They were like, we trying to keep her alive now. We're not going to hurt her moneymaker, but we trying to keep her alive. But that's my girl, is my agent. And you need someone like you. Everybody needs a Janet. There, I said it. Everybody needs a Janet, honey, because she's fabulous. And then my parents and my brother and my sister-in-law, my niece and nephew. And then I have a few friends that I have made along the way that are in the business that I can trust to tell my worries to, my concerns, and not have to worry that they're waiting in the wings for her to fail, so they could come out and stab you up. You don't need a whole lot of folk to be in your cheering section.
I think when you meet the right people. For me, I could count in my one hand the trusted colleagues that I have in my circle. These are people who I have worked with, who I trust their intuitions, I trust their advice. They have always been there for me when I was stuck, when I needed some, decision making. And so the way I built this trusted circle of colleagues is through doing projects together and spending time with them, not just only in the professional field, but also personal time with them, where we're just good friends. And I think that has really been the key factor into building this trust. So that's I always go to them whenever I need another voice because they would tackle my problems in a completely different angle, and it's wonderful.
Here's what I think I want to say most about trust. What you need to do is learn to trust yourself. Be a good and trustworthy friend to yourself because you have all the answers. You have all the answers inside you. We all do. But we don't trust that. We go looking for answers and counsel elsewhere. But I think deep down inside of us, at least if we open ourselves to the universe and to the great spirit beyond, we have access. We have access to all the right answers. So learning to trust yourself is the best thing you can do. But I guess I would say always be careful if people are in a position to make money off of your work. Then the waters get murky, and you never know if they have your best interests at heart. This is not true of Janet Jarrell. I never for one split second doubted that she was trustworthy and that I could trust her to not just be in a business relationship with me because she was going to make a little bit of money. And that's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Janet, for that. Well, that's a lot of solid advice about building trusted circles and colleagues from a lot of different viewpoints. Full disclosure, I promise I did not pay for some of the gushing you heard in some of the responses, although I was very flattered and touched. So I'm going to gush right back because I have been extraordinarily blessed to work with stellar artists and people I trust and totally admire. And that's why it's been a good business partnership. But that's another topic. I'd like to add this to the already incredible stuff you've heard about trusted colleagues. I share this with my music business students each year. There are some wonderful people in this business. They will never ask of you what you should not do. They will also respect your decisions as long as they are well-founded decisions, even if it's not what they might want you to do. They will not mind if you ask for their guidance or ask to talk something through with them before making a decision. So keep that in mind when determining who are trusted colleagues and who are not, because sometimes it's hard to know.